All right, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a ONE Championship fight announcement. So Stamp Fairtex and Seo Hee are officially set to meet. They will meet at ONE Fight Night 14, Stamp versus Ham, on September 1st in Bangkok, Thailand at Lumpini Stadium. First made a video about this about a week ago, stating that it was likely for August. That was going by statements made by Chatri Sityodtong at the time. But the news was officially broken yesterday. First reported via MMAfighting.com, and then ONE Championship made the official announcement. They will meet ONE Fight Night 14. They will be the headliner, and the interim ONE Atomweight Championship will be on the line. I can't tell you how excited I am for this fight. I'm actually considering making the trip to Thailand to see this fight. I don't know if I will or not, but I'm seriously considering it because I've always wanted to go see Ham fight in person. And there's not going to be a better time to do it than for this bout. This is going to be such a fun, exciting bout. I feel it deep within my bones. If you are a fan of striking, this is a bout that you have to see. I don't know what other way to put it. If you're a striking fan, this is about the kind of fight that you asked for, practically begged for, and ONE Championship has made it. And we have the number 1 and number 2 fighters in a division fighting for a title. This fight's going to have it all. Let's get into it. So let's look at the stats here. Stamp coming in at 10-2. Ham coming in at 26-8. So obviously the advantage, experience, MMA-wise experience, goes to Ham. Stamp's riding 2 straight wins over G and Radzuan. And then most recently, Elise Anderson. Ham coming in off of a decision win over Itsuki Hirata, and she hasn't lost a fight since November of 2016. She's on a 9-fight win streak. I believe that's the longest win streak of her career. Wow. Every time I look at this, it looks better and better. Ham is the elder fighter by 11 years. She's 36 to Stamp's 25. They're the same height at 5 feet 2 inches. Looks like Ham has 1 more centimeter at 158. 157 for Stamp. Looks like Stamp has 1 inch reach advantage at 63 inches, 160 centimeters to 62 inches, 157 centimeters for Ham. I can't. Every time I think about this fight, I get excited. We were supposed to get this fight back in 2021. I want to say, for the Atomweight Grand Prix. It was actually voted on by fans, and ONE Championship made this. Unfortunately, Ham suffered a hand injury, broke a finger, if I remember correctly, and had to withdraw from the Grand Prix because of that. Stamp went on to win the entire thing. And Ham went on to rematch Denise Zamboanga from the first round of the Grand Prix. This is going to be a good fight. This is genuinely going to be a good fight. Let's talk about things that we should be looking for in this fight. Let me bring up my notes from the last video I made on it. It should be right here. Let's talk about tape study. Both fighters should be doing their homework. There is a lot of tape study to be done, and a lot of tape available for both fighters. Ham, all of her fights since, we'll say, early 2010s are on YouTube, if I remember correctly. Even some of her older fights, you can find them. Stamp, I think every fight she's had since joining ONE Championship is available free on YouTube. So no excuse to not study the fighters, or at least for the coaches of each respective camp to not study their opponents. So, yeah, lots available for each fighter to watch and try to discern patterns. What else do I have here? Both prefer to move forward. You know, Ham, I've described it many times in the past. She's like what you call like a pressure counter fighter, in that she applies pressure by moving forward. She'll paw at your lead hand with her lead hand. She doesn't throw jabs too much. She likes to paw with her lead hand, and you know, she'll grab your lead hand with hers, and she uses that to open up the left hand. But she also likes to to counter, and she moves forward on you, basically, you know, saying, "Come on, do something." And then when you do, she'll counter. Stamp does best, on the other hand, also when she's moving forward, but she's an aggressive fighter. She's a lead fighter. She likes to come forward and lead with her striking. She doesn't do as well when a fighter puts her on the back foot. Go watch the first round of the Radzwan fight, and go watch the Anderson fight, and see that, yeah, she doesn't do as well when she's not coming forward. So both fighters are going to try to put the pressure on in this fight and move forward and force their opponent onto the back foot. So it'll be interesting to see which of them do that. When it comes to the ground, I would say Ham is a steadier fighter on the ground. Like, she's not, like, she'll never be like a top grappling whiz, but she's very defensively minded on the ground, which makes her stand up even better because she's confident if she has to go to the ground. I mean, we've seen her. She got submitted a couple times in some of her early fights, but hasn't been submitted since, I think, 2009, 2008, something like that. So we know her ground defense is good. She's not afraid to go to the ground. She just doesn't prefer to go there. Stamp isn't afraid to take the fight to the ground if necessary either, and she's initiated it before in some fights. And her best attribute is she is dangerous in the scramble. You know, she's not like a positional whiz, and she's not like a chain submission whiz or anything. But she is very dangerous in the scramble. She will pull out a submission in the scramble. And that's something that Ham is going to have to be very, very careful about. Big thing in this fight is going to be just the way one scores fights. It's all about the big moments in these fights. Ham, unless she's getting a finish, she's really not a big moment fighter. Like, when she comes forward with a big moment, it's usually she's getting a finish. Ham is more of a steady worker who gets things done like almost like an attrition fighter. Whereas Stamp, she's all about those big moments. She'll pull big strikes out of her hat and comes from nowhere with them. Like that elbow against Radzwan that dropped her. Or, you know, the liver kick against Anderson, to bring up some of the recent fights. So that's going to work in Stamp's favor. Also, final thing should be mentioned, and I don't like to say this, but if they're in a Muay Thai stadium in Bangkok, Thailand, Stamp's home territory, it's going to be very, very difficult for Ham to win a decision here. She's going to have to leave almost, like, absolutely no doubt in anyone's mind if it goes to the judges. So Ham should just focus on getting a finish here, because she should just assume that if it goes to the judges, she's not getting a win. You hate to say that kind of thing, but that's just the way it is. And that's not even necessarily one. That's just the way fight sports goes, period. So those are my initial thoughts on this bout. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you liked the vid, please give it a like. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to WMMA Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.